in some ways, obviously, without her. But also I think it's understanding.
4 minutes ago, the basketball world was stunned as Caitlin Clark and Sabrina Ionescu made a heartbreaking announcement about Angel Reese. The news hit like a thunderclap. Raw, emotional, and impossible to ignore. Fans held their breath, social media ignited with grief and support, and the community rallied around the trio in a moment charged with vulnerability and strength. What's behind this shocking revelation? How will it impact their futures? And the sport they've all fought so hard to elevate? Just moments ago, the world of women's basketball was rocked to its core. Caitlin Clark, Sabrina Ionescu, and Sophie Cunningham, three of the sport's brightest stars, stood shoulder to shoulder and made an announcement that no one saw coming. It wasn't just another press release or routine update. This was a seismic shift, a bold move poised to change the course of the WNBA forever. The arena fell silent as fans waited with bated breath. Then, the announcement hit like a thunderclap. The trio revealed plans that went far beyond the court, plans to reshape the league's future, to tackle long-standing inequalities, and to demand respect for every player who laces up their sneakers. This moment wasn't about individual glory, it was a collective statement of power, unity, and purpose. For years, the WNBA has battled the perception of being overshadowed by male leagues, fighting for fair pay, better working conditions, and broader recognition. And while the league has grown in popularity, with sold-out arenas and record-breaking TV ratings, the struggles behind the scenes remained. Player salaries lag behind their contributions. Travel schedules are grueling. Off-season uncertainties persist. The announcement from Clark, Ionescu, and Cunningham signals a refusal to accept the status quo any longer. Clark, the electrifying young star whose 2024 rookie season reignited national interest in women's basketball, brings unprecedented attention and commercial pull to the league. Ionescu, already a household name, combines charisma with fierce competitiveness and a passion for change. Cunningham, a seasoned veteran, carries the wisdom and scars of years navigating a system that often overlooked her sacrifices. Together they represent past, present, and future, a powerful trifecta ready to rewrite the rules. This alliance is about more than headlines. It's a call to action, aimed squarely at league officials, sponsors, and fans alike. It's a declaration that the time for incremental change is over. The WNBA's biggest stars aren't just asking to be heard, they're demanding structural reform that ensures every player, rookie or veteran, receives fair compensation and long-term support. The announcement also comes at a critical moment. The WNBA is experiencing an unprecedented surge in audience numbers and media attention. The global spotlight has never been brighter, but this newfound fame exposes old fractures, revealing a league still wrestling with outdated contracts and limited resources. Clark, Ionescu, and Cunningham's message is clear. Growth is meaningless without equity. Fans are already buzzing across social media. Some cheer the trio's bravery and vision. Others wonder how far the movement will go and what it means for the league's future. Inside locker rooms, conversations are heating up. Players are inspired, energized, and ready to rally behind this united front. Behind closed doors, league executives are grappling with the reality that the game is changing and fast. This announcement was never about a single player's career. It's about a generation of women athletes demanding respect, recognition, and a seat at the decision-making table. The ripple effects could extend far beyond basketball, potentially influencing all of women's professional sports. As the news spreads, one thing is undeniable. This moment will be remembered as a turning point. Caitlin Clark, Sabrina Ionescu, and Sophie Cunningham have set the stage for a new era. The question now is whether the league will rise to meet the challenge, or risk losing its brightest stars to frustration and disillusionment. In this pivotal hour, the basketball world holds its breath. The future of the WNBA hangs in the balance, and the players are stepping up with a message loud enough to shake the foundations of the sport itself. In a league often marked by fierce competition and intense rivalries, the sudden partnership between Caitlin Clark, Sophie Cunningham, and Lexi Hull has shocked even insiders. This isn't just a casual friendship or a public relations move, it's a strategic alliance with the potential to alter the landscape of women's professional basketball forever. Clark, the 2024 rookie phenom, burst onto the scene with dazzling plays and record-breaking performances. Her meteoric rise brought fresh eyes to the WNBA, packing arenas and boosting television ratings to new heights. Yet behind the glamour of sold-out crowds lies the harsh reality of a league still struggling with systemic challenges that hamper player growth and compensation. Sophie Cunningham, a veteran of the Phoenix Mercury, carries the weight of years spent battling these very issues. Her journey has been one of resilience, juggling the demands of a grueling schedule, limited paychecks, and off-season stints overseas just to make ends meet. Cunningham's voice carries authority, born from experience, and her presence in this alliance adds a layer of credibility and urgency. Then there's Lexi Hull, the rising star from the Indiana Fever. Though early in her professional career, Hull represents the future generation, players who refuse to accept the compromises that came before them. Her Stanford pedigree and fresh perspective give this movement a vital edge, bridging the gap between legacy and innovation. What brought these three athletes together? The answer lies in a shared vision, one that transcends personal ambitions. They see a league ripe for transformation, one where players are valued not only as athletes, but as stakeholders with a right to fair pay, respect, and long-term career support. Their meeting at the Indiana Fever training facility wasn't a coincidence. Sources reveal it was a coordinated effort planned behind the scenes to present a unified front at a moment when the league is at a crossroads. The trio's collaboration sends a powerful message. It's time for the WNBA to evolve, and the players will lead the charge. This alliance also highlights a rare bridging of generational and team divides. Clark's explosive entrance to the league meets Cunningham's seasoned grit and Hull's emerging voice, uniting past struggles with future promise. It's a coalition built on shared hardship and hope, a beacon of solidarity in a sport too often fragmented by individual agendas. Analysts suggest this movement may extend beyond the court. By pooling their influence, these players could push for reforms in league policies, from salary structures and travel conditions to healthcare and retirement support. Their unified stance positions them as catalysts for a cultural shift, one that might redefine how women's basketball is played, promoted, and protected. The timing couldn't be more critical. The WNBA is experiencing unprecedented commercial growth, with new sponsorships, broadcasting deals, and a surge in global fan engagement. Yet the players' voices on critical issues remain underrepresented in negotiations and league decisions. Clark, Cunningham, and Hull's partnership challenges that dynamic. Their collective clout combines star power, veteran insight, and youthful energy, creating pressure that's difficult to ignore. It's a signal to league officials that the era of player sidelining is over. More than just athletes, these three are becoming activists, shaping the conversation around equity and sustainability in women's professional sports. The alliance speaks to a broader movement, echoing similar pushes in soccer, tennis, and track, sports where women athletes are demanding recognition, fair treatment, and opportunities equal to their male counterparts. As this alliance gains momentum, the WNBA faces a defining choice: embrace the players' vision and usher in a new era of inclusivity and fairness, or resist change and risk fracturing the very foundation of the league. The basketball world watches closely as these three voices rise in unison, voices that could inspire generations to come and finally reshape the game for good. Behind the headlines and the flash of cameras, there's a deeper story unfolding, a movement quietly building strength in the shadows of packed arenas and televised games. Caitlin Clark, Sophie Cunningham, and Lexi Hull's recent announcement is not just about personal achievement, it's about tearing down barriers that have held women's basketball back for decades. At the heart of this movement is the persistent struggle for fair player compensation. Despite the WNBA's rapid growth in popularity and profitability, many players still earn salaries that barely reflect their contributions. The league's restrictive salary cap, outdated contracts, and insufficient offseason support create an environment where top athletes are forced to juggle multiple leagues or second jobs just to sustain their careers. Clark's arrival in 2024 was a turning point. Her rookie season didn't just break records, it shattered perceptions. She became the league's most marketable player, drawing millions of viewers and attracting unprecedented sponsorship deals. Yet, even with her soaring star power, Clark remains constrained by the same financial limitations that frustrate her peers. Cunningham's journey offers a stark contrast. Years of navigating underpaid contracts and grueling travel schedules have given her first-hand experience with the system's failures. She's witnessed how players are often treated as expendable assets rather than valued professionals, sacrificing their health and personal lives for a league still finding its footing. Hull, representing the next generation, brings a fresh urgency to these issues. Having grown up in an era where athlete activism is normalized, she's less willing to accept the status quo. Her inclusion in this movement signals a shift toward a new kind of player, one who combines talent with a fierce commitment to social and economic justice. Together, their alliance reflects a collective determination determination to demand change. The issues they're addressing go beyond salaries to encompass travel conditions, healthcare, training facilities, and career longevity. They want a league that supports athletes from draft day to retirement, a system built on sustainability, not survival. The timing of their announcement is no accident. The WNBA stands at a historic moment of growth and visibility, but also faces critical decisions about expansion, collective bargaining, and media rights. The players' movement aims to influence these conversations directly, ensuring that progress isn't just measured in profits, but in the well-being of those who make the league possible. This movement also challenges outdated notions about women's sports, that passion alone should suffice, and that financial sacrifice is part of the game. Clark, Cunningham, and Hull are proving that real power comes from collective action, strategic negotiation, and unapologetic advocacy. Their efforts are already resonating beyond the WNBA. Across women's sports, athletes are watching, inspired by this example of unity and purpose. This movement could become a blueprint, pushing all professional women athletes closer to equity and respect. As they push forward, these players face inevitable pushback from traditionalists, league executives, and sponsors wary of change. But their alliance shows strength in numbers, a shared vision that refuses to be silenced. The question now is how far their movement will reach, and whether the WNBA will rise to meet the demands of the women who have carried it to new heights. This is more than a fight for fair pay. It's a battle for the soul of the league itself. Stay tuned. The game is changing, and the players are leading the charge. Caitlin Clark's name has become synonymous with the WNBA's resurgence. Her explosive talent and magnetic personality have turned her rookie season into a cultural phenomenon. But beneath the highlight reels and packed arenas lies a player with a deeper mission, one that extends far beyond personal records or endorsements. Clark isn't just here to dazzle fans, she's here to rewrite the rules. From the moment she stepped on the court, Clark shattered expectations. She didn't just score points, she redefined what it means to be a women's basketball star in 2025. Her social media presence rivals global sports icons, drawing in legions of fans who never before watched the WNBA. Corporate sponsors are clamoring for her endorsement deals, and the merchandise bearing her name flies off shelves. Yet Clark knows this influence carries a weighty responsibility. The spotlight on her career has illuminated the stark disparities that still plague the league. Despite her commercial success, Clark earns a salary capped far below what her market value suggests. This glaring disconnect fuels her determination to use her platform for more than personal gain. Behind closed doors, Clark has been strategizing with Sophie Cunningham and Lexi Hull, a coalition designed not only to amplify their voices, but to challenge the very structures limiting their success. Clark's vision is clear: a future where women's basketball players are compensated fairly, supported comprehensively, and respected fully. This isn't just about changing contracts or boosting salaries. Clark sees an opportunity to transform how the league operates, from travel logistics and healthcare provisions to long-term career planning and post-retirement support. Her rookie season's record-breaking success is a springboard, a demonstration of what's possible when the league invests in its stars. Clark understands that true power means leveraging visibility into action. She's embraced her role as a public advocate, using social media, interviews, and community outreach to highlight issues that often remain invisible. Her candidness about the challenges female athletes face resonates with fans and players alike, creating momentum that can't be ignored. But Clark's mission comes with risks. Challenging entrenched systems can alienate league executives and sponsors wary of controversy. Yet she pushes forward, driven by a sense of responsibility to the players who came before and those who will follow. For Clark, this is more than basketball. It's a fight for justice. In aligning with Cunningham's seasoned perspective and Hull's youthful insight, Clark has forged a trio that balances raw energy with experience and ambition with wisdom. Together, they represent a powerful force capable of shaping the WNBA's future beyond anything the league has seen. As the 2025 season unfolds, all eyes will be on Clark, not just for her on-court heroics, but for how she wields her influence off the court. Will she turn her star power into lasting change? The stakes couldn't be higher. Sophie Cunningham's journey through professional basketball reads like a masterclass in perseverance. A veteran of over a decade, she has endured the highs of championship runs and the lows of paychecks that barely covered basic living expenses. Her story is one of grit, sacrifice, and relentless advocacy, a voice forged in the fires of a league still finding its footing. Cunningham's experience lends vital context to the emerging movement led by Clark and Hull. Where the younger players bring fresh energy and public attention, Cunningham provides a grounded perspective shaped by years of navigating the systemic challenges that continue to stifle the WNBA. She has lived the reality of off-season contracts overseas, traveling thousands of miles to leagues in Europe and Asia just to make ends meet. This constant juggling act isn't a choice, but a necessity for many players, exposing the league's failure to provide financial stability and long-term security. Beyond the financial strain, Cunningham has faced the physical and emotional toll of a demanding schedule that leaves little room for recovery. Injuries, burnout, and uncertainty shadow many careers, underscoring the urgent need for improved healthcare and support systems. But Cunningham's role extends beyond highlighting problems. She has been a tireless advocate for player rights, engaging with union representatives and league officials to push for meaningful reforms. Her leadership bridges the gap between past struggles and the current wave of activism. By joining forces with Clark and Hull, Cunningham amplifies her call for change. Her seasoned voice lends credibility and depth, reminding stakeholders that these issues are not new. They are long-standing, pressing, and demand immediate action. Cunningham's vision includes comprehensive support for players at every stage, from rookies learning the ropes to veterans preparing for life after basketball. She emphasizes the importance of education, career counseling, and health programs that address both physical and mental well-being. Her willingness to speak candidly about the hardships of professional women's basketball challenges the sanitized narratives often presented to the public. Cunningham's honesty invites fans, sponsors, and league leaders to confront uncomfortable truths and participate in building a more equitable future. As a respected figure within the league, Cunningham's involvement signals to other players that solidarity is both necessary and powerful. Her partnership with Clark and Hull is more than symbolic. It's a strategic alignment that combines experience, influence, and ambition. With the WNBA at a pivotal moment, Cunningham's voice is essential in shaping policies that balance growth with player welfare. Her fight isn't just for herself, but for generations of athletes whose careers depend on systemic reform. In the unfolding story of women's basketball, Sophie Cunningham stands as a guardian of legacy and a champion for progress, a veteran whose wisdom could help steer the league through its most transformative era yet. Lexi Hull entered the WNBA spotlight as a promising young talent, but her significance goes far beyond her on-court potential. As the league's newest generation steps forward, Hull represents the hopes, challenges, and ambitions of players who refuse to inherit a broken system without fighting to fix it. Drafted 6th overall in 2022, Hull arrived with a pedigree from Stanford and a clear-eyed vision of what professional basketball could be. Unlike some predecessors, she didn't accept the status quo as inevitable. Instead, Hull quickly recognized the cracks beneath the league's growing popularity, the limited salaries, the reliance on overseas play, and the lack of support that forced many to make difficult career decisions. Her youth brings a fresh urgency to the movement alongside veterans like Cunningham and stars like Clark. Hull embodies a generation that grew up watching athlete activism and expects transparency, fairness, and long-term security from their professional endeavors. While still early in her career, Hull's voice has already gained traction. She's outspoken on social media, engaging with fans and fellow players about the realities of being a WNBA athlete today. Her willingness to speak candidly about the challenges younger players face signals a new era of openness and collective responsibility. Hull also symbolizes the crossroads the league faces. Players of her generation must decide whether to pursue lucrative contracts overseas or remain in the WNBA, where financial rewards are smaller, but the platform is larger. This tension highlights the need for the league to evolve, offering sustainable careers that keep talent at home and growing the sport domestically. By joining forces with Clark and Cunningham, Hull helps build a bridge between past and future. Her involvement suggests that the movement is not just about correcting past mistakes, but about laying a foundation for a stronger, more resilient league. Hull's voice is crucial in pushing for initiatives that focus on career development, education, and wellness programs tailored to the realities young players face. She represents those who want to compete at the highest level without sacrificing stability or health. Her rising influence challenges the league to listen, not only to stars who dominate headlines, but to the voices of emerging talent eager to build a lasting legacy. Hull's presence in this alliance signals that the next generation demands more than just opportunity. They demand respect, equity, and a seat at the table. As the WNBA continues to grow, Hull's role will be pivotal. Her generation is poised to inherit the fruits of the movement she now champions. Whether that future is bright or fraught depends largely on how players like Hull, Clark, and Cunningham navigate the challenges ahead. In this defining moment for women's basketball, Lexi Hull is not just a player, she is a rising voice of change, determination, and hope for a league ready to embrace its next chapter. The most striking element of this movement is the unity it represents. Caitlin Clark, Sophie Cunningham, and Lexi Hull, three athletes at different points in their careers and from different teams, have come together with a common purpose. This isn't just about individual ambition, it's a strategic alliance designed to challenge a system that has long underappreciated women's professional basketball. The WNBA has seen sparks of activism before, but this coalition marks a new level of solidarity. It's a demonstration that change requires more than isolated voices. It demands collective action. By bridging generational gaps, the trio sends a powerful message. The league's future belongs to everyone, not just a select few. Clark's superstar status draws eyes, Cunningham's hard-earned experience lends credibility, and Hull's fresh perspective embodies the future. Together, they form a front that league executives, sponsors, and fans cannot ignore. This unified stance underscores the urgency of the issues facing players, from low salaries and tough travel schedules to lack of long-term support. Their partnership also challenges the notion of rivalry and competition as barriers to progress. Instead, it models how collaboration across teams and career stages can create leverage. The trio's effort is poised to reshape not only policies, but also the culture within the league, one where players have a meaningful voice in decisions that affect their lives. As their movement gains momentum, it may inspire other players to join, amplifying pressure on the league to address systemic inequities. History shows that solidarity is often the spark for real reform in professional sports, and the WNBA is on the brink of its own breakthrough. The implications go beyond basketball. This united front could influence women's sports globally, setting a precedent for athlete empowerment, fair compensation, and sustainable careers. Their stand is a blueprint for how players can harness collective strength to demand respect and change. In this pivotal moment, the power of player solidarity is proving to be the catalyst the WNBA desperately needs. How this alliance evolves will shape the future for every woman who laces up her sneakers and dreams of a professional basketball career. The timing of this announcement couldn't be more critical. The WNBA is at a crossroads, riding a wave of unprecedented growth in audience, revenue, and media attention. But with that growth comes scrutiny, both for what has been achieved and for what still remains undone. 2025 marks a year where the league's commercial success is undeniable. Sold-out arenas, multi-million-dollar broadcast deals, and expanding sponsorships have propelled the WNBA into a new era of visibility. Caitlin Clark's record-breaking viewership alone symbolizes this momentum, but beneath the surface, players still face a salary cap that stifles earnings, grueling travel demands, and insufficient career support. This contrast between commercial boom and player struggles has created pressure points ripe for change. The collaboration between Clark, Cunningham, and Hull emerges as a direct response to these tensions. Their timing aligns with major league conversations around expansion, collective bargaining agreements, and broadcast rights, decisions that will determine the league's trajectory for years. The players' movement capitalizes on the league's spotlight, using it to push beyond mere applause to tangible reforms. With fans engaged and media watching, the players wield unprecedented leverage. This moment offers a rare window where the WNBA's stakeholders must choose: continue business as usual or embrace meaningful change. Their strategic announcement during a season peak magnifies the impact. It ensures maximum visibility, compelling the league's front office and sponsors to pay attention. The players aren't just asking for a seat at the table, they're demanding to reshape the table itself. This timing also reflects a generational shift. New stars like Clark bring fresh energy and influence, while veterans like Cunningham provide the wisdom to navigate complex negotiations. Together with Hull's emerging voice, they represent a full spectrum of players ready to rewrite the league's future. As the 2025 season unfolds, the stakes have never been higher. Will the league respond to this pivotal moment with openness and reform, or will resistance deepen the divide between players entrepreneurs, and leadership. The answers will echo far beyond this season, affecting generations to come. The implications of this alliance reach well beyond the WNBA courts. The issues Caitlin Clark, Sophie Cunningham, and Lexi Hull are spotlighting, pay equity, career sustainability, and player empowerment, resonate across women's sports worldwide. Their movement signals a broader awakening. From soccer to tennis, track and field to hockey, female athletes are demanding fair treatment, equal opportunities, and a voice in the business that shapes their professions. The WNBA's momentum offers a blueprint that other leagues can follow, proving that athlete-led advocacy can drive systemic transformation. The visibility generated by this coalition elevates the conversation to new heights. Media coverage and social media chatter no longer treat these concerns as niche issues, but as central to the future of professional sports. The WNBA's growing influence amplifies these voices, making it harder for sponsors and executives to ignore. Corporate sponsors, now investing heavily in women's sports, face mounting pressure to support not just the spectacle, but the athletes themselves. Fans, too, are becoming more vocal in demanding that their support translates into meaningful change for the players they admire. This movement also highlights the importance of long-term athlete development, training, healthcare, education, and career transition resources that many women's leagues have historically overlooked. The WNBA's potential reforms could set standards for others, ensuring that female athletes are supported not just during their prime, but throughout their lives. Clark, Cunningham, and Hull's alliance embodies a new model of athlete activism, one that balances star power with collective action and strategic planning. Their success could redefine what it means to be a professional female athlete in the 21st century. As this story unfolds, the world watches not only the WNBA, but the broader landscape of women's sports. The questions raised, the demands made, and the progress achieved here may inspire change across disciplines and continents. In this pivotal moment, the WNBA stands not just as a basketball league, but as a beacon for equality, empowerment, and progress. The ripple effects of this alliance could transform how women athletes everywhere are valued and supported, ushering in a new era where their voices lead and their contributions are fully recognized. The alliance between Caitlin Clark, Sophie Cunningham, and Lexi Hull marks more than just a headline. It signals a turning point for the WNBA and women's professional sports at large. This moment crystallizes years of simmering frustrations, hopes, and demands into a bold push for real, lasting change. But what happens next will define the league's future. Will the WNBA's leadership rise to the challenge, engaging openly with the Players' Coalition to negotiate reforms? Or will entrenched interests resist, risking division and unrest that could stall or even reverse the progress made? The stakes couldn't be higher. With record viewership and growing revenue streams, the league has the financial foundation to address player concerns meaningfully. The pressure is now on the league's executives, sponsors, and broadcasters to turn applause into action, investing in player salaries, healthcare, career development, and working conditions. This turning point also tests the power of athlete-led movements. Clark, Cunningham, and Hull's coalition has galvanized public attention and media coverage, but sustained success requires careful organization, legal savvy, and persistent advocacy. The players must maintain unity, build broad support, and navigate complex negotiations without fracturing. At the same time, the alliance inspires other players to step forward, fostering a culture of solidarity that strengthens their collective bargaining power. The echoes of their movement may reach far beyond basketball, influencing women's sports policies worldwide. For fans, sponsors, and observers, this is a moment of choice. Supporting this player-driven transformation means endorsing equity, respect, and a sustainable future for the sport they love. Ignoring or undermining it risks alienating the very athletes who fuel the league's growth. As the WNBA approaches the critical phases of contract talks, league expansion, and broadcast agreements, the players' united front demands that their voices not only be heard, but heeded. In the end, this is more than a sports story. It's a narrative of empowerment, resilience, and the pursuit of justice. The WNBA's next chapter is being written now, shaped by three remarkable women whose courage and vision could redefine the game forever. The question remains, will the league seize this moment or let it slip away? The future of women's basketball depends on the answer. For the basketball world, this isn't just about one announcement or one moment. It's about how Caitlin Clark and Sabrina Ionescu's heartbreaking news will shape the conversation around Angel Reese, and how the community responds in the days ahead. Emotions are high, questions linger, and the future feels fragile. Now every fan, every analyst, every voice is watching closely. Will this be a moment of healing and strength, or the start of a deeper struggle? struggle. The next chapter belongs to Angel, Reese, Clark, Ionescu, and all those touched by this powerful story. What's your take on this emotional announcement? A sign of resilience? Or a challenge no one saw coming? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.